Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I removed old stain from a set of dining room chairs. So the chairs I have here are a set of 4 solid wood chairs that belong to my grandparents' dining room set. And I decided to refinish them to give them a more modern look, and there was also some damage to the original stain, so I just decided a fresh start would be best. I'm also going to be voicing over this video because it was a beautiful fall day when I filmed this outside, and just about every one of my neighbors was either mowing their lawn or using a leaf blower, and I don't think any of you probably want to listen to that all video. So this one's a voiceover. First, I'm going to show you the materials I used, and these are all also listed down below in the description box. I got just about all of them at Home Depot. So the paint or varnish stripper that I used is called Citristrip. Then I also used plastic putty knives, and I used the plastic ones instead of the metal ones because you don't want to actually damage the wood, you just kind of want to stay on the surface, so the plastic ones are really good for that. I also used a pack of toothbrushes that I got at the dollar store, and these are great to get into some of the smaller edges and corners. I have some of the 3M stripping pads, and those are in the same aisle as the paint stripper. They're kind of near the sandpaper. I also have some After Wash, and this is really useful when you're trying to get all of the Citristrip off. You'll see a clip of that later on. To apply my Citristrip, I used a 2-inch chip brush, and basically what that is it's just a paintbrush you can throw away when you're done with it. They're really cheap. And then of course I have gloves and safety glasses on. And then to wipe away a lot of the excess paint stripper, I had scrap pieces of dish towel rags, and you don't want to use anything nice. You want to use something that you don't mind getting rid of. So I just had some extra pieces of that I could throw away. And then I also had a plastic Tupperware container that I didn't mind throwing away again. So I used like a to-go container that was plastic that I got from a restaurant. And that's what I used to dispose of the Citristrip. So when I wiped it away with the plastic putty knife, I could put it in there. To start out, I removed the seat cushions and all the tags from each of the chairs. And I'm going to be doing these in sets of 2, mainly because removing the stain is on such intricate pieces can be really time consuming. And I didn't want to get burnt out halfway through. So I'm just going to do 2 chairs this weekend and then 2 chairs the next weekend. To start out, I'm pouring the Citristrip into the lid of the Tupperware. And now I'm using that chip brush to apply it to the back of the chair. I would say I apply about a medium coat. And by that I mean that I apply enough so that it isn't clear, because then if it's clear, it'll dry out really quickly and be difficult to remove. But then I also don't apply it so that it's like solid orange, because then it'll be a pain to take off later on as well. So you kind of want like it thick enough so that there's a hint of orange is what I have found works best. So once I've applied the Citristrip, I wrap the area in plastic wrap to prevent it from drying out. And now I'm gonna let this chair sit while I do the exact same thing to the back of the second chair. So all in all, I let it sit on this chair for about 20 minutes in between when I put it on and when I'm gonna begin taking it off. So not very long at all. So as I begin taking it off, I peel away the plastic wrap and use the plastic putty knife to scrape off as much of the excess gel stripper as I can. So it's gonna be difficult to get all the gel off, so don't worry if you can't get a lot of it off. I'll have another method that I show in just a few seconds for how I get the rest of it off. And as I'm scraping it off, I'm taking the gel and putting it into the bottom half of that Tupperware container. This is a clip of a different part of the chair that I worked on later, but I thought this was a really good camera angle to show you a good view of how much I'm able to take off with the putty knife. And here you can see the before is that dark brown, and then after I scrape it with the putty knife, you can see the natural wood shining through. Now after I've gotten off as much as I could with the putty knife, I'm taking one of my scrap towels and wiping off as much of the excess gel as I can. So this next part is my favorite part, and this is where I can finally see my finished product. So to remove that final layer of the gel that'll be on the chair, I take one of the 3M scouring sponges and I dip it into some of the afterwash that I poured into another Tupperware container, and I just begin scrubbing the chair section by section. So after I scrub one section, I wipe it clean with a clean towel. And you can see here, it just really turns out nice after you scrub it with this afterwash. From this angle, you can see all of that white stain residue like melting away. And then what I do as the last step is I take a toothbrush and I dip it into that afterwash as well. And then I clean up any of those grooves and corners that are remaining. Once I complete one section of the chair, I move on and I repeat the exact same steps to the next section. And I did the chair in 3 sections. So first, the one you just saw is I did the back of the chair. Second, I do the base, which is what I'm doing here. And then lastly, I do the front of the chair. And all in all, these 2 chairs took me 4 hours total, which is quite a long time for just 2 chairs. But I think the final product is stunning, and I really can't wait to restain these and see what the finished table looks like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.